Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Derek Ledwidge from Strive Fitness and Performance, and today we are going to go over our macronutrients in our MyFitnessPal, and then also how to adjust as we go through this challenge. So as you see, I ended up putting an entire day's worth of items into MyFitnessPal. This is a typical day for me. And we're going to break this down on how it looks and how I can adjust accordingly. One of the biggest things that I see with clients is right from the start. A lot of times, people are obviously overeating the bad stuff, undereating the good stuff, but also more importantly, when people start going into diets like 24/7, things like that, a lot of people end up under eating and they can't figure out how to get more food in. It is really crucial during this challenge to make sure that we are around those calories and those macronutrients, which from previous videos are carbs, fats, and proteins. So most people are not hitting their calories, and especially not hitting their protein. This is what is always stays the same. And a lot of times people are overdoing the carbs just because there's so much of them everywhere, and also fats. A lot of times um, with people that eat healthy but still can't get results, this is going to be one of the things that people want to look at. Is simply because it's super easy to overdo fats just because there's a lot of calories in a very small amount. People don't necessarily measure very well and they're just sort of eyeing it out and they're really high here. That's going to be one of the things that we're going to be talking about here on how to adjust according to our day. Um, so as it mentioned in one of the main program guides is ideally we're having five meals a day. Three main meals, two snacks, stuff around the workout, things like that. But life does get in the way, so you don't necessarily need 100% to get 5 meals, 6 meals, or anything like that. There are some days where I'm at the gym like all day and I can barely get any type of meal in, so I have two gigantic meals. And that's fine. But again, that's where the adjustments fall into because we still have to be able to get what we want. So if we have, two meals a day, those meals are going to be pretty big, and that's how we adjust accordingly. So here's a typical meal for me. And to be honest, a lot of times this turns into my dinner. But so I have two large eggs, whites. So keep that in mind. We have to make sure we have the right one. That will make a difference with how we log. I have two large eggs, string cheese, spinach, 1 cup of them, three normal eggs, and again, see the difference here. Some salsa, just because, 2 tablespoons, which is about two thumb size, and then also some olive oil, just as I'm like frying the eggs, so another tablespoon. Okay, so we look at the totals here. We're at around 500 calories for the meal. Uh, 4 carbs, so we're looking good right there because we do want this challenge to be a little bit lower if we're trying to go for performance. These are going to be a little bit higher, but again, everyone's goals are different. Fats around 35. This is a little bit high because of the portions, but that's also because I have the egg yolks as well as the olive oil. Okay, and this may come up into play in how we adjust. Proteins around 38, so I'm looking good there. Just simply because I kind of want to have around 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal that I have. Guys might be a little bit bigger, so I may have to add some more in here for myself. Sodium good, sugar's good. So we go on to lunch. 6 ounces of cod. Number 4 ounces, 4 to 5 is around portion size. So this is about 1.5 for portion size. Broccoli, and then rice. Nothing really crazy. This is a really basic meal for me, so there's not a whole lot of fillers or anything like that. And this is a quarter of a cup, so keep that in mind too. So we got 441 grams of of carbs, and one of the main reasons why I have it right here in lunch as opposed to breakfast is I'm going to have a nighttime workout, so I want to have my carbs around my workout. 6 grams of fats, 40 grams of protein, sodium, and sugars are pretty good here. Dinner, sweet potato. Again, this is after my workout, so I want to earn my carbs, so I just imagine myself coming here at Strive, and now I have 40 grams of carbs right away. Some spinach and chicken breasts. 4 ounces this time, not 6. I'll explain why that is key later on. So looking at 43 grams of carbs, 1 gram of fat, 31 for protein, and so on. Okay, more than likely, I didn't really put it in here or anything like that, but I probably have a fat right here, just because of obviously with the cooking or things like that. But I didn't put it in there just because I wanted to put it for an example. Snacks, again, really really basic, but again, I live a very very basic life when it comes to food. I have whey protein, 1 scoop, and I imagine that is just in water like I usually do, or in my coffee, which isn't much or anything like that, so I didn't put it in here. Um, and I would put this more likely between lunch and breakfast. Another one, which is going to be another scoop, another protein shake. This time I'm going to pair that up with some almond milk. And then on top of that, I have 2 tablespoons of almond butter and Ezekiel bread. That is my other snack just to fill myself up. More than likely, that is going to be prior to my workout, so between lunch and the workout. So my snacks are around 32, carbs 26, fats 60, which is not bad because these are basically 2 meals. So our total goals as we come down here. We see I'm a little bit lower than my calories, but again, that's not that much. 80 calories is not that much. What we want to make sure that the goal, if the goal is 1800, I'm not at like 2000 or 1400 or anything like that. Carbs, good. I probably want this a little bit higher, but again, I didn't have a whole lot of veggies. I could easily throw in more veggies as we go in there, and then it's really, really good. I like where my starchy carbs are at, my rice and sweet potato. So I can, but if I have like zero energy or anything like that, I may increase that after dinner, or have 2 slices of Ezekiel bread or anything like that. Fats, little high. Okay, so that might be something that we want to address. But again, naturally, if these are a little bit higher, these are going to be a little bit lower. Okay, so if that ends up being my preference, that's fine. Okay, a lot of times I am a little bit higher on the carb range. Today I wasn't or anything like that, so I was a little bit higher here. And again, as long as this number right here is good, you're gonna be happy. 170 for my protein. Kind of want this maybe a little bit higher for most guys. For me, I'm a smaller guy. I weigh 170 pounds, so actually that's probably generally where I want to be. This is what we talk about adjusting as we go on. Again, I'm a smaller guy, so my numbers are more than likely around this anyway, and that's how we do it. That's how we adjust for individualized. Majority of the time for guys, this is a really really good indicator, as females are 1400. There is my meal. So let's say that the numbers were really, really like skewed or anything like that, or I do want to increase right here to get even closer. You're not going to get there exactly, but say I want to get closer. Well, a lot of times people ask me, it's like, well, how do you expect me to eat another meal? I can't physically eat anymore. I don't have time or anything like that. Well, I already mentioned some of it. I want to look at the portions. Okay, so say my fat is higher. I want that down. Well, we already talked about the one meal that had a little bit too much fat or anything like that is going to be the largest number. So right here. Okay, so how would I adjust? Well, I could get rid of the olive oil, but I like it in cooking. I like the way it tastes, so maybe I keep that there. The other big one is these eggs. Okay, the three main eggs. So maybe I drop the three eggs and put more three egg whites. As you see, the two egg whites there are no fat. It's just pure protein. Okay, so I want to keep my protein. I don't want to take any more of that out. But if I want to get rid of that fat, say it's really, really high, and okay, boom, there you go. Instead of getting rid of all the eggs, now I treat them as all egg whites, or I do two and one, stuff like that. So I mess around with the portions. Okay, my proteins wants to be a little bit higher, maybe get that 180. Instead of having 4 ounces of chicken, maybe I have six, and I adjust that. Okay, so now this number would be a little bit bigger. So I adjust, or I can have 1.5 scoops of protein powder instead of one. So you don't necessarily have to increase how many meals you have, but you can very easily just increase the portions. That's the easiest one because your body is not necessarily going to notice having 2 more ounces of chicken or anything like that, especially if we're training hard at the gym. Okay, now there's a couple ways to go about this. As we make sure this. So a lot of people generally do two different things. They have recipes that they're going to make. They know exactly what they're going to have throughout the week or anything like that, and they plug it in. They plug it in every single day of the week. I can mess around with the dates right here and just keep on plugging it in, and we basically adjust until it fits in, and that's how they meal plan. So they meal plan way ahead of time, and they plug and play with the guide that I gave them, where you just fat, protein, everything like that, and then you just get some fillers in there as well. Or as I'm a creature of habit, and so my days are generally the same. Outside of going out to dinner or something like that, or having something special prepped when I get to lunch or going out for breakfast or anything like that. Most of my stuff is always the same, okay, outside of a few things. And so instead, maybe I have chicken here or I have pork or something like that. So I know what I generally am going to eat. It's pretty basic or anything like that. And most people have go-to meals. Well, you plug those go-to meals in, and what does the day look like? What else do you need to have? And that's how you sort of meal prep. And then everything else. So say I go out to dinner. Most places have menus that you can look up everything. Well, you can easily put that in here. Or say you're going to make this elaborate meal or anything like that. You can plug that in here. And then if it's something new, you sort of have to, measure it out visually with the portions like we already talked about, things like that. And then you sort of go from there. But the common stuff, which is why MyFitnessPal is so neat, is that it saves everything. And so the common things you can always just exactly what it looks like. Okay, boom, you're gonna roll good. The new things that come up, you're just gonna have to adjust to. Anyway, that is our macros. If you really want to focus on something, we need to make sure we are eating enough and we adjust as we go along. Talk to your coaches and make sure we are hitting this protein. Make sure that is happening. That is going to be the number one goal for most people.